Welcome to this video that explains how to set up the JSDT development environment. You can find the description in the JSDT development wiki, and what we need is an Eclipse ID for plugin development, a target platform with the prerequisites like Node.js, web tools and other runtime libraries, the source code from Git and a proper setup to run. So let's get started. From the Eclipse download, I choose the developer builds so I can get the latest development build. My target platform will be Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers, and my IDE will be Eclipse for RCP and RAP developers. This will contain all the plugins needed to develop plugin applications, and this will contain all the prerequisites needed from the JSDT application, so web tools, Node.js, etc. I already downloaded these plugins and I put them in a folder called JSDT. So I unpack both. And then I rename the folders so it will be easier to understand the content. Now, this is the target platform. I will never run this Eclipse. I just needed to unzip it so the IDE can access the target plugins here. And this is the IDE. I create a workspace folder and I copy it. And I will run just this Eclipse. Now the IDE is up and running, and in window preferences I can change a couple of things. First of all, Java editor save actions, which I want to format edited lines and to remove trailing white spaces. Then the installed JREs, I see I have a JRE, I want a JDK. So we'll add another JRE, another Java runtime, which is JDK. And then I delete the previous. Now from window preferences, I'm going to add the target platform in plugin development, target platform. I will add a new target and I will point to the directory where I put the JEE. I copy this directory, I paste it. I also need to copy the name. And now I can assign a proper name to the target. Here is my new target. I select it and I apply my choice. At this point I set up my ID and the target platform so I can import a project set. The project set contains all the projects from the proper Git repositories. I saved the project set here, and I will provide a link containing a reference to this project set. As you can see, this contains a reference to all the Git repositories. For each project there is a reference to the proper Git repository, and below there is a set of working sets, each one containing a number of projects. So I need to browse it, load it, and by clicking on finish, Eclipse is downloading the project to your Git repositories. If you already have the projects in your Git repositories, it's just importing them into your Project Explorer. Now I actually want to see the projects in a different view, which is the Package Explorer. It's more convenient to me, as it can show the working sets. Here you can see the working sets contained in the PSF we loaded. Let's go to the Git repository. You see, Eclipse automatically imported the needed repositories, and from these repositories it put each project in its project set. For example, JSDT is for the JSDT core, JSDT.js is for Node.js, which is CLI, Gulp, Grunt, NPM, Node, etc. There is a project needed for platform, support from other projects to JavaScript, JSON editor, release engineering, and the website for web tools. Now we see we have some problem here. It's very easy. This is related to the fact that we did not define an API baseline. So from window preferences, in the API baseline we have an error in case we don't define an API baseline. We put it to warning, but this is not good practice in Eclipse development. This is only because we have a provisional API. So JSDT is still provisional, so we are allowed to do this. And then after a rebuild, all the projects are compiling properly. So now it's time to test these projects. They should run on top of the target platform. Run configurations. I create a new run configuration. It automatically took all workspace, so these projects, and enabled target plugins, and the target is our web tool platform. I want to have more fine control on them, so plugins selected below only, which includes all the plugins from the workspace plus all the plugins from the target platform. I actually want to delete, to remove the test plugins, which are not relevant to my test run, and I don't want to add new workspace plugins or include optional dependencies. By clicking add required plugins and apply, I'm ready to run. So let's run an inner instance of Eclipse with the JSDT. Here is the inner instance. This is our ID, is the outer instance. You can see the console log, and this is the inner instance of the JSDT development environment. Now to test that it is working, Ctrl N, I create a new JavaScript project. I call it test client, and it switched to the JavaScript perspective. I have a couple of files here, a JSON and a JavaScript file, so I'll just copy them here. And I can see that the JSON editor, for example, the outline is working properly. The elements are selected, and for example, this is a JavaScript file with ECMAScript classes. I can see that the outline is properly built, and also the content assist is good. For example, I can add a for loop like in the Java development, and I can use facilities like holding Alt and pressing arrow up, or Ctrl D to delete a line, Ctrl S to save, and everything. So this is the proof that we can run the JSDT using this setup. There are other problems to solve, like setting up the Node.js environment variable, which will be treated in further videos. That's it for now.